What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to do a comparison of the MP-20 Plus Wheeljack with the original MP-20 Wheeljack. So these came out quite a few years apart. This just came out last year. I think it was last year, 2019, and I believe this one came out 2014 or 2015. It's quite a while ago. Actually, it's one of my first reviews ever was Wheeljack. So we're going to look at some categories. Some of the categories today we're not going to look at because they're exactly the same. So we're going to skip over build, articulation, engineering, transformation. Those are pretty much identical. So we'll look at everything else. I'll kind of give you a detailed, in-depth look at how they compare. But first, as always, we're going to start off with accessories. And here are the accessories that come with these two. They actually both also come with these collector cards. I mean, they're not accessories for the figures, but just wanted to show you they have changed and updated the image on both sides. And the card stock is a little bit thicker. I remember talking about how thin these were. They made them thicker card stock now, so that's nice. But pretty much the same as what we used to get. And then here are the accessories. Now, some of them are the same, but the paint is different. So these two, you got a lighter silver on the new one and a slightly darker silver, essentially exactly the same. Then you got the shoulder missile. Now this one is definitely painted a different color. This one was painted the silver, whereas this is painted more like that cartoon gray. So that's just a different choice, but again, now here's where they differ. So in the original one, I guess this was an Amazon exclusive. You got this disruptor, whatever it's called. But this one I thought came with exhaust, which was the repaint of this guy. So that's interesting that they've changed the accessory. But either way, they both get, you know, an additional accessory. Me personally, it's dead even. I mean, I don't really care about these two anyway, so we'll call it a tie for accessories, even though they're slightly different. Next, we'll take a look at the tune accuracy. As I mentioned earlier, the sculpt is exactly the same. They did not change anything on the sculpt, but what they did change is the paint and the colors. So let's put the G1 cartoon there, and to me, it's very obvious the new one, I mean, that's what we were going for anyways, is the tune. You can see they've pretty much cleaned up and made it all white all the way around. Gotten rid of a lot of the colors. Now, these colors are very accurate to the original Lancia Stratos race car. So, obviously, this one now does not look like that. And we'll take a look at that when we get to alt mode. But when you look at this, for me personally, the tune accuracy is just, they nail it here. They even changed the hands here. So, on the back of the vehicle, it used to be white. And so you had that white on the side. Now it's that gray color, so it doesn't stand out as a different color. You know, it's basically hidden away. So I'll give tune accuracy to the Plus version. All right, next we'll talk about the paint on these two figures, and believe it or not, there are differences in what's painted and what's not, and I wanted to show that to you. So everything you see here on the original that's white is basically a plastic. The only thing that's painted is right here on this chest, the white piece right there, and then on the back here with this white. All the other white plastic, the shoulders, the biceps, the elbows, these legs, those are all white plastic, and then the red and green are painted. Also the wheels are painted. Obviously the head is painted as well, and the eyes are painted. These wings are not painted, it's just translucent plastic. So on the new one, everything you see that's white is pretty much painted with the exception of the elbows. So all these shoulder pieces, these biceps, the wings back here are now painted gray instead of translucent. This back panel is painted fully white. These doors are painted white. The feet are painted white. The legs are painted white. And then you got the green there. And they have changed out the lights, so you have the gray painted versus the black on this one. And then, of course, the hands they've changed. Instead of the white paint, you've got the gray paint. So that matches up better with the arms. He doesn't stand out so much. So they've painted quite a bit on this guy. And because he has more paint, we're going to give paint to MP-20 Plus. And here they both are in their vehicle modes. And very different looking, even though they are pretty much the same mold. And what really stands out is the glass. So the glass being that blue makes a huge difference in the look of the figure. The other thing that's really kind of almost not, it doesn't look good, is all the white. There's a ton of white on this now. And while that's cartoon accurate, in fact, let's just put the G1 cartoon image there. That does look like it's from the cartoon. And we already gave this points for cartoon accuracy, but it just looks too plain. And it just doesn't look so great. I really like the red wheels on here, even though it's not cartoon accurate. It just looks cool. It also looks like the original vehicle. The other thing I noticed is this one rolls very smoothly. This one's got a problem with the wheels. You can see this one's not rolling. And I looked into that. It's basically this wheel's got paint inside, and it's preventing it from rolling. I'm not sure why, but it rolls when I roll like this. So that has to do with the paint. But regardless, I just feel like this is so plain. It's like they've gone too tuned in this case. They both do fit the cannons in their vehicle modes, so you can mount them on the top. And there you go. And they both have the gun. Oh, actually, this one I didn't put the gun in, but they both fit on the bottom. You can just store the weapon like that, and it kind of looks like an exhaust from the back. So they have all the same gimmicks, but I just feel that the original just looks so much cooler. You know, it's got so much more going on, so much more detail. Those logos really make a difference, and it just breaks up the pure white here. So we're going to give alt mode to the original version. The final factor here is the cost. So the original release was $80 for MP-20, and the new one is $85 retail. I'm going off of a couple different websites. It was hard to find the original prices because they've changed, but so $5 more, so the original wins on price. So final thoughts on these guys. You can see the score there. It's a tie, which is not surprising, right? They're pretty much the same figures, same everything. You know, obviously a little bit different of an accessory there, but everything else is the same. Where they really differ is the vehicle mode, right? And you saw I gave this guy the vehicle mode, but then in robot mode, especially in Toon, I gave it to this. So they kind of evened out, and it's hard for me to choose. So I'm going to keep them both. I kind of like both. I like the vehicle on this guy because it looks really very much like the original race car. I like the robot mode in this guy because it looks so much like the cartoon, like it just came straight out of the cartoon. So they're both good. Either one you get, I don't think you'll be unhappy. Me personally, I plan to keep both in my collection. So that's really it for today. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions on these guys, leave in the comments below, and we will see you next time.